about Trey Lance and the 49ers move up in the draft to get him. And Chris Simms seems to think there are obvious reasons they have yet to turn to the young QB.
Are they scared a little bit or not know what they're going to get? I think, of course they are. You know, anybody you talk to that saw training camp last year, either that was part of the 49ers staff or when they went and worked with the Los Angeles Chargers there, and you hear people that witnessed those practice, you know, there had to be concern coming out of San Francisco early on in the year last year. I know there was. There was too many people that were like, whoa, man, Trey Lance practices, woo, the ball's everywhere. It's this or it's that where it's everywhere. Woo, man, he's not ready yet.
I love that we are getting more clues and glimpses into why the 49ers have yet to do anything with Jimmy Garoppolo yet. And let's just put into perspective what an incredible job he did mentally and emotionally last year. They drafted his replacement. The narrative throughout the whole season was they were going to get rid of and trade Jimmy Garoppolo, and this is going to be Trey's team. He still showed up every single day, put his best foot forward, got them to the playoffs, beat Aaron Rodgers, and then even had a great attitude about it and said he was willing to help Trey and mentor him with whatever he needed. And we've heard, a couple other quarterbacks recently, Ryan Tannehill with Malik Willis in particular, say it's not his responsibility. So Jimmy made it a point to do whatever it took for the team, knowing in the back of his mind that it probably wasn't going to be his team in the long run. And then he admitted after the season that was actually really hard. I know you think that they should just throw in the young quarterbacks. You got to see what you got. But after hearing this, maybe it is the best thing for Trey to sit behind Jimmy if he's not ready yet, because that's what we keep hearing, whispers and rumors as to why he hasn't gone in yet. Maybe it is the best case scenario to sit behind Jimmy for another year.
I think that would be a disaster of a choice. And if you need an example of why that's a bad idea, you can just look to Miami, who is not somebody that you should model your organization after when it comes to how they do things on the field. They're on another coach already. Tua's in his third year now, and he has never been the unquestioned starter there. You have no idea what you have with Tua. Everyone is questioning his capability, and he has not had the opportunity to develop because he's not been that guy. You always knew you were going to have a moment with a young quarterback. You drafted a quarterback. Mm-hmm. He's young because you got him in the draft. So this fear of starting a young quarterback has these organizations not only stunting the developments of these young quarterbacks, but also having these lingering clouds of questions about what they're capable of. I was okay with them starting Jimmy Garoppolo because Trey Lance was an outlier as far as he was very raw and he hadn't played football in quite some time because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I was okay with them not starting him. I actually would have preferred that they at some point in the season had inserted him as the starter and went with him moving forward.
Okay.
But this fear, like, what is it that you're doing? You're not developing for the future. You're not winning Super Bowls. You didn't win last year. You had a successful season, of course, but you didn't win last year. So we learned nothing about Trey Lance. We still don't know if he's the guy. I do think that the surgery for Jimmy Garoppolo erased the trade markets, but what was the trade market before that? He was still he still would have been rehabbing if he didn't have a surgery. It's not like a big secret that Jimmy Garoppolo is not the healthiest guy. That's why Trey Lance is there in the first place.
But he's a team player.
Yeah, but team player is fine if you're on the sideline cheering everybody. But if you got to be on the field, which is what they need Jimmy Garoppolo for, that matters. He's not an available player. We just talked about this with Kyrie Irving for different reasons, obviously. But and Kyrie has had his injury history as well. Jimmy Garoppolo is an injury-prone player. He is always injured. And that is not something that you can build around at that position.
No.
So I do think that part of it is that he doesn't have a huge trade market, but this lack of commitment to Trey Lance, it's fine that you can say, nice things about your quarterback. Mm-hmm. He's the guy or he's not. It's not a position where you can be iffy on. And if you are iffy on it or you're not really bold and straightforward and bottom line about it, it's fair for people to question if he's ready. Which is a big problem. You gave up a lot for him.
Yeah.
And if it was the wrong choice, that's something that has to be examined.
Is kind of what things are off the record pointing to. The fact that he's not getting the chance, the fact that they're not taking the risk, and they might not believe that he's ready and has what it takes right now to be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Well, when are you going to find out? You got to put him on the field. At one point or another, he's got to play, and you got to find out with a live game.
Soon enough.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch gears. Although it was known he was the winner, the NBA officially announced that Nikola Jokic was the MVP yesterday. He was presented with his award while at a horse stable in Serbia. He is the second international player to win consecutive back-to-back MVPs. Giannis was the last, and this marks the first time international players have won the award 4 consecutive seasons. But how special and cute is this, too, that he gets to receive this award in his home country, surrounded by what I'm guessing is family and friends who helped get him to this point. Because normally when you receive, in my mind, when you receive awards like this, it's either at the game, at an award show, in an arena of some sort. So this is, look at this.
What is that? That looks fun. I'm
Right?
terrified of horses.
Why?
They're dinosaurs. Look how big they are.
I don't know. I thought this was so precious and so cute. And then also today, the NBA announced that they will be introducing 2 new trophies during the playoffs, as well as rebranding their conference finals champion trophies. The first ever Larry Bird Eastern Conference MVP award will be presented, as well as the Magic Johnson Western Conference MVP award, which I think you have made a few points here that you think the regular season MVP should be presented right away.
Yes, it should.
This should even more
because we're in the middle of the second round. You're giving out the MVP.
Exactly. But now that we have the Eastern and Western Conference final MVPs and we have a finals MVP, there are now 3 levels of MVP options and awards that you can get.
Yeah, I think maybe let's change it from MVP. Can it be like most outstanding player?
What do they call it in college?
I think it is most outstanding player.
Yeah.
It needs to be most outstanding player.
It's
You can't be the MVP
of
everything.
3. So you have a possibility to win 3 MVPs.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot
of MVPs.
It also kind of like devalues it a little bit. I understand. I don't know. It just if this is the case now.
I like that they have the awards.
Yes.
And it's cool to honor Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. I like that. Yeah, I think it's got to be most outstanding player. And we're kind of wearing out MVP here,
right? There's 3 opportunities.
Yeah,
3 opportunities to get hardware.
Finals MVP, 2 most outstanding players.
Yes,
and a regular MVP. It's a lot of awards.
It's a lot of awards.
But you're right. This only furthers my point.
Yes.
Give the regular season MVP award as soon as the regular season ends. Why are we giving Jokic the MVP award while he's riding around enjoying himself on his farm in the middle of the second rounds? It's insane. What is the point of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's special to like share that moment with your family, but it's strange.
It makes no sense.
It's a little strange.
Why now? If you were going to wait, then just wait until
the end of the
entire season is over and do it at an award show. At least there's an excuse there.
No idea. All
Weird.
right. It is a little strange. Switching gears, Deion Sanders is not a fan of the way the new name, image, and likeliness rules are causing some players to behave, and he took to Twitter yesterday explaining his thoughts.
You got a problem. See, when you start paying athletes like they're professionals, you get athletes acting like they're professionals. And you don't have staffs large enough and equipped enough to handle a young man with money. Let me go deeper. Handle a young man that's making more money than some of the coaches on staff. You got a real problem. So I suggest to you to allow college teams to hire more qualified men, that could handle these young men that's getting this money.
Now, when Deion says qualified, my mind goes to that every school, college team needs to hire a financial advisor or have some sort of financial education for these athletes who are now coming in to a lot of money just to learn how to handle, how to invest, how to deal with it. Just talking from personal experience. When I went to college, I got my first credit card. I went a little ham the first couple of months. My dad's an accountant, so he sat me down and he made a spreadsheet and he showed me a projection of the next 4 years. If I were to continue this spending that I was spending, how much debt I would be in at the end of my college career. And it was this light bulb that went off. It was like, oh, okay, yeah, so I got a lot of money. I shouldn't actually spend all this money. I should learn to save, invest. But like, I didn't know that. I would have never known that unless someone actually sat me down to educate me as to why it's important to invest a certain way, to save a certain way, and then have your fun money. Always have your fun money. Everyone needs that. I think this would take away the responsibility from having the coaches on the field have to deal with the college athletes and this whole situation, because that's what it's all about. It's all about the money right now. Everyone's freaking out that they're getting money, and it's changing things. So why not give these kids the education and the support they need with someone to help them with the money?
Yeah, everything that you're saying makes perfect sense. Also, that's like a part of becoming an adult, is learning how to deal with money and shaping young minds into how they can be successful in their future. You know, all the things that college coaches are supposed to be doing with young people.
But it hasn't been with money in the past. So that's what he's saying. It's something new.
So then hire, I don't disagree.
Bring someone that's their expertise.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, and I don't necessarily disagree with what Dion is saying when it comes to hiring someone who is qualified to deal with a professional-like player, which they're not professional players. They're not being paid money for their on-the-field services directly.
Yeah.
They don't have bonuses built into how many catches